Hi there, this is Bill Prankard, and I'm so happy that we can have just a couple of minutes together because as we come together, I believe God can touch you and help you. And I want to talk to you about faith today. We hear a lot about faith, and there's songs about faith, and people talk about faith. I've actually met people who boast about how much faith they've got. I noticed in the Bible, they didn't talk about it, sing about it, go to conferences about it. They just did it. They lived it. Because faith is action. Faith is motion. Faith without works is dead. And we've had so many people say to us over the years, pray for me because I don't have any faith. We had a pastor say to us once, Gwen, would you pray for me? God's not listening to me. Listen, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, you have faith. You say, well, I don't have much faith. Well, Jesus said faith as small as a grain of mustard seed can move a mountain. But the Bible says every person that comes into the kingdom, to them he gives the measure of faith. Not a measure. He doesn't take a big one here, a little one there. The measure. The same measure. And he gives to them. So first of all, as a believer, you can't say you don't have any faith because the Bible says you have faith. And you can't be a believer without faith because you have to believe God is. And he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him, and without faith it's impossible to please God. So stop saying you don't have any faith. But more than that, you've got exactly the same faith as anybody. You find the person in the world that's doing the most for God as far as you're concerned, you've got the same faith. Now, you say, well, how come they're doing so much and I'm not doing anything, and I pray and nothing happens, and they pray and miracles happen? It's because they've been using their faith. They've been exercising their faith. Years ago, we had a young lady come to the meeting. Her name was Jane. God supernaturally healed her, and she gave her life to Jesus. It was an absolute miracle. And I found out she'd been involved in all kinds of bad things, including dealing in drugs. And after she had this encounter, she told one of the ushers, I'm going to be bringing my boys next week, which we thought were her little kids. She brought her boys, these great big bodybuilding guys who were her collection agency, who would go out and make sure people paid, and she said they were very good. Well, they all came to Jesus, thank God. They all got saved. And I noticed one night after a service, we're talking, my wife looking at the one guy's arm, like she'd never seen a guy's arm. And I said, honey, she said, what? I said, he hasn't got anything I don't have. Well, then, I'm asking for trouble because she looks at him and looks at me and says, what happened? Well, what happened was he made a decision that he was going to spend several hours a day in the gym developing his muscles, and I made the decision I wasn't, and it worked for both of us. But he's got biceps, I got biceps, we got the same muscles. You've got faith, but you need to start exercising it. You can't just go out. If you're lifting weights, you can't go out and lift your body weight over your head. You got to start maybe 20 pounds, and then 30 pounds, then 50. Before you know it, your muscles are getting stronger. David didn't start with Goliath. Oh, no. He started with the bear and the lion, and he was developing and exercising his faith in private before he went out in the public arena. Today, a lot of people, they come to Jesus, he gives them what they need, and they go right out trying to take the giant down, and it's a disaster. And then they wonder why God let them down. Folks, you got the muscles, you got the faith, but you got to use them. And so I'm encouraging you today to start believing God where you are. Start with the small things. And then as God answers and you see it, your faith will develop and it'll get better and better. And before you know it, you'll be moving mountains. So God bless you as you stop talking about it and you start being a person of faith.